It's the car.
Oh, no way!
Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and I got a chance to go to LEGO headquarters in Billund, Denmark, and see some brand new 2026 LEGO sets. And yes, that included LEGO Ninjago. Alongside the Arc Dragon of Life, which I already put out an early review on, we got a chance to see a ton of brand new Ninjago sets. From the small little remake of the 2012 car polybag, and yes, that's the official name of that set in 2012, to just car, to some of the larger items like the Cole's Mission Mech, which really is just supposed to be his golem form from the show, as well as some of the even bigger sets here and there like the Ninja Dragon Rayu. We got a chance to get hands-on with designer interviews and presentations throughout a ton of the brand new January sets. So join me right now as we take a look at some of the brand new Ninjago sets, and let me share my honest thoughts of how they all were built and what I think about this latest wave of Ninjago. Let's jump up, kick back, whip around, and spin right now.
Whoa! That dragon is rising.
So this year we're fighting elemental monsters, and you can see some of them here in the SKUs. I'll let Lee go first talking about the Ninja Dragon Rayu, and then after we'll go Dimi with the Arc Dragon of Life.
Yes, so this is a 71855 Ninja Dragon Rayu battle. As some of you who have been following our products, you may realize we have Baby Rayu in our models for the past few years, and he has been growing up slow and steady, but now he's big enough to choose his profession. So, of course, with all the influence from his friends, he wants to become a ninja. So in this season, he's actually training up to be a ninja. So it doesn't only get bigger, but he also gets some more armors and weapons like this shuriken on the tail that spins. You also get this massive katana that can be held on the belt. Can put it. Can do it. Like so. Wow. But also, you can actually put it in his mouth. And the set comes with 4 minifigures, of course. We can't miss out his best buddy Aaron, who is in a brand new outfit. And then we have Nia in her dragon form. You will find out how she gets that in the show. Then we have one of our bad guys this year, a henchman type of character called a loyalist. And then we have the mutation monster here. So now I have
So I'm here to present you set 71859, the Dragon of Life. It's a majestic dragon that will guide us and guide Lloyd through his journey. Lives in the Whispering Woods, and she will help the ninjas to fight the elemental monsters and what causes them. The set comes with a big dragon, majestic, with opening wings. We have a small side build with a little bit of play and an object of desire. And then we have the bad guys. At some point, the evil elemental monsters will grow and get more powerful. And thus, will get a bit more challenging for the ninjas. Yep. And so we have Lloyd in his dragon form. Again, Arin and Sora. Cole in his dragon form. Zane, one of the loyalists, and Acid Snake, and the Tar Monster.
Acid Snake.
and it has knees.
I noticed a new leaf part on some of the builds. Can you talk us through the development of that and when that first started?
Because I didn't.
Okay, it's a new leaf element because we're going into the Whispering Woods this year with where the Dragon of Life lives. So we want to create a new element that sort of establishes the identity and ties the whole lineup together as we always do. And this is the new element. You will find it in several colors throughout the lineup. There's this really cool opalescent one on Rayu to represent some energy coming out. And then on this one you have, if you want this piece, this is like the battle pack for it. I think there's like over 10 of them in the trans green, and then there's also the solid green one, repel, and on the tree. Yes.
And it's one of those things where you explore if anything else works, but we wanted something that actually creates the design language for the season and to tie everything together.
Yes.
Aside from that flame piece, are there any other new molds with the minifigures or?
The minifigures are
yeah.
full of those.
Oh, the first one you may notice is this really cool claw piece, which on the minifigure, it works as his headgear, but it's also his claw. So every time you get this guy, it's like full on with the 3 claws. And then we have this really cool new snake head, which is like super cool in the light.
And then we have all the dragon gear.
Yeah.
Have the tail for the dragon ninjas. We have a new armor piece, and we have the new hood for them as well.
Are those glow-in-the-dark elements? No. Okay.
When it comes to the new characters, or like taking an existing character, adding these new headpieces, accessories and things to them to make it really different and fresh, what's the back and forth like with the TV guys? Because they must have designs in mind that they want to push, and obviously you want something that's kind of achievable as a minifigure, so what's that kind of back and forth like?
Yeah, it's generally, it starts from us. There is some changes that happen because of limitations in animation, but for the most part they try to be as faithful to what we present, because that's where everything is built for the season. Every testing, every discussion that has been had is based on what we make here. So at least with the TV show, it's a very, not one way, but mostly from us it flows towards the TV show.
And does that work well in terms of the pipeline, in terms of when you're developing models and when they're going into production and things?
There is some alignment, and then it skews differently. So that's why sometimes there is more or less noticeable differences between what is in the show and what is in product, and some other times it's just very close. But yeah, the reality is that our time frames are quite different.
Like a marketing kind of question about Ninjago being 15 years. Obviously there's a lot of new people coming into, getting to know Ninjago. There's a lot of lore behind it. How do you make it accessible for like new fans, and also kind of balance that with the old-time fans who followed Ninjago since the start? And how do you make it fresh, interesting, but also accessible and make sense for especially like younger kids?
Absolutely. Well, we do have our back catalog that we are very proud of, and we of course reference and use quite a lot. As far as freshness, we want to always bring something new to the table. Novelty is very important to us. So making sure that we do things that we've never done before, but also keeping to that Ninjago aesthetic, that iconicness of what Ninjago is very important. And so I think honestly I think we did pretty good with this 2026 year of keeping iconicness and also bringing something new for kids and older fans also to come in and enjoy.
And we try also, because I guess that ties also to the TV show, it's that we try, when we reference things, they are not necessary knowledge to the new viewer. We try to keep things contained like Dragons Rising, but there is always for those who care, after they get introduced to the new show, they can go back and find things. I used to do that, going to wikis, look for information in the expanded universe. But we try to make callbacks because it's a continuous story, but we always try to create points where kids can get in and continue from there.
Any last questions?
Just a quick one about the acid snake. Is that an official breed of serpentine, or did it originate from one of the other realms?
Without going into spoilers, it's an expression of elemental powers. All of those monsters are completely different things.
Thank you. All right, so I'm here with legendary LEGO designer Li Chi-wing with some new Dragons Rising sets for January. Would love to hear more about them.
Yes, this is for season 4.
Yeah.
You have seen this one at the presentation already. It's Ninja Dragon Ryu battle. So that's new Rayu. And Cole stole the sword. So, hey, well, I put it here for now. One thing we didn't mention in the presentation was this one. Rayu's head is actually a new decal. So it makes more sense for the distance with the mouth.
Yeah.
Even though it looks very similar, it's a new one.
I can see that. Looks a little older too.
Yes, we try to really age him up this time instead of reusing that head.
Right.
And the more exciting one for you, I guess.
Right,
is
right, because we didn't see this one earlier.
We didn't show them at the presentation. This is Cole's mission Mech, and even though I know the name is called Mech,
it is clearly.
Show, it is the golem form.
Yeah.
This will be how the new golem form looks in the show. Like something's gonna happen to him, which I will not spoil. But this is not like we reinterpret the golem form.
No, so it will look like that in canon. Okay. With all the weapons that are on the back here?
I can't remember. I know the sword is in there.
Okay.
Like this fiery sword is in the show.
Okay.
I can't remember if the rest is.
Cool.
It's called Mission Mech because it comes with all these cool gadgets.
Yeah.
So he's ready for a mission.
Yeah.
You can hold it here.
Nice.
You can put the staff here so you can do the...
Nice.
And then the sword can still be held at the hand at the same time. So you can really gear him up.
I love it.
Since it's a Mech, Cole can go inside.
Is there a place for the weapon? Oh, on the weapon, yep.
There's the
there you
clip.
go. Yep.
So Cole can go inside. Oop. And when you...
And Cole does not come with his... This is a half mask and hair is the way he comes in.
Yes, so in this wave, all the ninja have two forms, technically. There's the dragon form, which is this one. It's also their true form.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
What that means, you'll just have to wait to see.
We'll have to ask Doc.
All of that. But otherwise, they will come with the wig and the half mask for the other sets. And the heads are actually different. So on the regular one, they don't have the energy eyes because for the first time, they're gonna be canon. They're gonna be in the show.
Oh, it's gonna look like that in the show.
When they become the dragon form, they'll have the energy eyes, which I think is really cool. That 4 years later, finally, it's canonical.
I can't wait to see that.
The set comes with these 3 minifigures, right?
Yep.
Dragon Sane. Sane in dragon form is the official name. Acid Monster, and then Cole, who is already in here.
Right.
The face for the Mech or the golem is a decal, so don't worry, it's not a sticker.
Yep.
And the reason why I show these two sets together is because the idea is that their weapons are interchangeable. So you can
that's very cool.
The shuriken here on Cole's arm.
Okay. Nice.
And Rayu can have a helicopter staff on the back.
I love it. And so were these designed in tandem with each other so that was like an intentional thing to make the weapons
it was.
work?
And I guess this is also where I can give credits to my colleagues because I did not design any of these models. This one is from Marin, who just joined our team last year. So this is actually one of his very first Ninjago model. Yeah. He has been a LEGO designer for a while, but this is the first Ninjago model. Okay. This one's from Petrus, who you may also heard of before, with some other cool Ninjago models he's been cooking.
Interesting. So neither of these are your models,
no,
so you're
I'm just here to
them.
present.
Okay.
And one more thing to mention is that Rayu will be a store exclusive.
Okay.
That's what I've been told.
Okay.
What that means, you can check with the
sure. Good to know.
But yeah. So there's the model.
Very cool. You mentioned there was one more surprise.
Yes.
I think we have a few minutes left. I'm very excited.
Oh my
gosh.
This is practically the most exciting thing I want to show today. More than the blacksmith.
This is the most exciting thing you have to show. I'm so excited.
Are you ready?
I'm never ready.
One more legacy set to show. It's the car.
Oh, no way! The polybag.
Yes. I'm so excited for this, honestly.
That is so funny.
The mini blacksmith shop you guys get at the presentation was actually my original pitch for this year's polybag. Yeah. When the polybag team saw it, they were like, "Oh, this is really cool, but can we get something like a vehicle that's more fun for younger kids to play? Maybe you can find an iconic Ninjago car." Yeah. I mean, I said to them, "Did you mean car?" And then this has to be done. Like
I'm gonna have to like get
I
that
had
original
the
polybag.
idea, and then I'm like, this has to be done because we are remaking the CX suits.
Yep.
This is perfect.
Have
There's
to.
no better chance to do this. And I also think it's just hilarious because no
Yeah.
fans would have expected this to be
No.
remake as a legacy model.
But that is it
Yeah.
gets a remake.
A cool thing I want to point out is I know a lot of fans have been saying, you know, they want to get the full figure in polybag, so
So
I
we have the
actually
armor.
managed to squeeze the money out and make sure you get the actual full figure. So if you
Thank
just want
you.
this figure, you get the hood, the shoulder armor, you get the
Yep.
katana. You can just get this polybag. And
It's
this
like the
time
best
around,
Ninjago polybag. in
it
the
comes
world.
up with the tires, actual tires.
Yeah, it does.
And the one little thing I changed about the original design was these spikes.
Yep.
And the original one is like 2 golden claws
Yep.
that just points out. But I feel like if there's a spike, when you point them in, it looks more like a car, right? And you can
I
still do
agree.
this. So that was the one thing I changed.
That is so funny. I cannot believe that. That is actually a crazy surprise that you brought back that
yeah,
particular polybag.
I begged them to let me show this one at the interview because at first they're like, "But it's a polybag." I'm like, fans are gonna love this.
That's funny. People are
love
gonna love that. That is so cool. I have a lot of questions about both of these sets actually.
Yes.
And I'm trying to get footage or photos of these at the same time because I know that we won't see this one at least
Yes.
downstairs. So
But
we'll get
ask
more photos
away.
of that. So with Rayu, and I'm sure Sean asked this as well. Obviously, you're using the existing Rayu headpiece with
Yes.
a jaw kind of molded into it to show, but then you also have a brick-built jaw here. Was there ever a
Yes.
consideration to either use like one of the other existing dragon headpieces? Because I feel like now it does kind of look like there are 3 jaws or like multiple jaws in some angles.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been considered, but
Okay.
as always, you know, there's a lot to consider.
Yeah.
And we of course even tried about, you know, using the other small dragon head
Yeah,
we made
yeah.
for, but then we feel like you just start losing
You lose the Rayu
icon
look.
of what makes it Rayu.
Sure.
So in the end, that's what we end up with.
Okay.
It's a choice, but yes, we definitely thought a lot about that.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I'm also curious because obviously the latest version of Rayu in the combo mech made his tail more show accurate. In the show, will he kind of evolve to have this actual element on his tail? I see you also have the white spikes on the back here, so you do kind of still have that piece in
I
there. but-
can't remember the final design
Sure.
on the show, but I think from the set point of view,
Yeah.
these pieces are meant to be energy coming out.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's not part of his body,
Yeah.
and that's why it's in the opalescent
Yeah.
color.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, that is really cool. Yeah, it is interesting how he is scaled up bigger, but not quite as big as maybe some of like what people were imagining to kind of scale up. What made you decide, or I guess the team decide on this being the scale for Rayu, like not a little bigger or maybe even like a little smaller? I'm just curious, like how did you decide on this particular size?
It's mostly the price point, right?
Okay.
Whenever we design, we always look at, well, some of us have to look at the overall lineup
Yeah.
and be like, you know, we have dragons of this size and this size and this size.
Right.
And we also at the same time have to consider what else, like what other older products are on the shelf at the time
Sure.
when this comes out, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, if it goes slightly smaller, then it's almost going into the territory of the Rontu
Yeah,
dragon, right?
yeah.
If it goes slightly bigger, then, you know, it might also get a bit closer to the other dragon that you saw in the other room.
Right.
So there's that.
Okay.
And then of course we also considered the story element of it, where like how much time has passed, like has he actually grown up a lot?
Right.
Would it make sense to make him now a $100 dragon?
Sure.
So yeah.
Maybe save that for the year after or something like that, you know, like yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so I do have to take a quick look at these characters. I know from the other interview to peel the mask off the loyalist here. This is an
this one's
interesting
different
design.
because this is the henchman. So
This is the
in-
henchman,
In
so
some
this is-
set,
okay.
we'll use the first face, and
Yeah.
then some will be the other. In the show,
Okay.
of course, they're just like all henchmen, right? So
Right.
there's like different version of the mask they wear.
Got it. Got
But
it.
they are some regular minifigure wearing masks, right? Because you can see the yellow.
So they are humans.
You have to watch the show. I mean,
Okay.
we have characters that have the yellow minifigure skin tone, but they're not always like plain human, right?
That's
So
true. That's fair. That's fair.
I can't confirm that.
Okay.
That part.
Interesting. Interesting. Very
But
interesting.
they are wearing masks. Like that's not their face.
Yeah, that is a mask. Okay. Because I know there was confusion with the Dragonians.
Yes,
I think
yeah.
there's still a little bit of confusion, but yeah, that is good to know. So this is, what is the name of this monster?
This is mutation monster.
Mutation monster.
Yes.
Oh, transparent green arm.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
So the mutation monster, I know that we were talking about in other interviews and stuff about these monsters being mutated versions of the existing elements. Is this like a mutated version of Lloyd's life element?
That was the idea.
Okay.
But then I think it's also hard to say, right? Because there's so many different elemental
Yeah.
powers at this point.
Like could be a poison
yeah,
mutation.
and
sure.
we just think that the name life monster doesn't really checks out. So
Yeah, doesn't really sound that monstrous.
That's what the naming team came up with in the end. They are a mutation monster.
Makes sense. That's a monstrosity right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool figure.
Yeah.
And the graphics team also was really keen on making the big fig head.
I love that you use the
as
big
that,
fig head for that.
which
Yeah.
is pretty funny.
Oh, that is very cool. So this is really interesting. What made you decide to finally put Cole's rock golem form into an official set? Because I know there was a lot of back and forth. I think you had mentioned, I could be wrong on this, but I feel like when we did our interviews 2 years ago, you had mentioned kind of trying to make the Cole mech sort of look like that.
I think that was Nick saying that.
that was
right,
Nick, yeah.
For the mix
Right.
and mash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we always wanted to do it. Like we designers always wanted to do it, but in the end of the day, it's always about, what would sell as a toy. Right?
Yeah.
We always try to make them so that people who haven't seen the show can
Yeah.
still join in and be like, oh, it's a cold Mech,
Right.
As for why we end up making this, you have to thank Dimi in the other room.
Okay.
Because he really pushed for it from both the product side and the show side, because
Yeah.
he also worked with the TV show.
Yeah.
He think this is the chance to give the fans this.
Yep.
So he went for it, and we managed to get it through this time.
Very nice. I am curious about some of the design choices made here.
Yeah.
Was there ever a plan to make the head like actually rotate back and forth on a mixel joint or something? Because right now it can only kind of look up and down.
Yeah. I don't think I have the answer because
Okay, because it wasn't
I
you
didn't
designing
work on
it.
this.
That's fair. Yeah.
We're done.
Hi.
Cool.
Are we at time? Okay. Thank you.
But I would guess it's possibly an age mark.
That makes sense.
This is a smaller set for the younger audience.
Cool. Well,
But-
thank you again so much
Yes,
for your time.
thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And more interviews to come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, man. Good to see you as always.
Nice to see you again.
Would love for you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, and about the model.
Yeah. So I'm Dimitris Stamatis, and I'm a senior designer at Ninjago and content driver as well for the TV show. I've been around Ninjago for a while now, as you know, and we can go right in.
Awesome.
So this is a set 718659 from the Dragon of Life, and it will be featured also in the Dragons Rising Season 4. We have a story that takes place in the Whispering Woods,
Right.
and it's both important for the story itself, but also we have a little bit of a journey for Lloyd and his story and the Green Ninja destiny.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited to hear more about that and see that unfold throughout the season.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different things to focus on here. Obviously, I think this is the first time in Ninjago that we've gotten a dragon that is very nature focused, that is really like the main theme of the dragon. I'm really curious if that was more of a story thing, a set thing. Like, what made you decide to focus this in on having it be more nature as opposed to some of the other like green dragons we've gotten in the past?
Generally, we have tried to do different things. I think we did a little bit of the naturey look on the dragon that was in the Temple City.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had the dragon in the temple city that was kind of approaching this, and we tried to do unique unique aesthetics. I don't have it clear in my mind when we started doing the life,
Right.
but it was just I think it was tied also to Lloyd's journey and his like arc in Dragons Rising.
Of course.
And also it's a good a new look. It fitted the idea of a forest, of the Whispering Woods.
Yeah.
So all cascades from there.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
This is really. I mean, I love the build of the dragon. I do have a question about
Yeah.
the collectible here. This is the Sword of Fire.
Yes.
Is that supposed to be in universe the actual golden weapon Sword of Fire, or is that just kind of like a
This is more for the play.
Fun.
I
Okay,
think
for
in
play.
this set.
Yeah. Gotcha. And are they collectibles throughout the series, or is that just
no,
kind of
it's
something
just
random?
I think it's something that we have here for
Okay.
completeness of the set.
Cool.
This season is very tied around the dragon power, the
Right.
dragon power up for the ninjas,
Yeah.
the elemental monsters.
Right.
So we have a few things. I'm not sure how spoilery that could be,
Sure.
but we have the weapon of desolation that's causing like a disturbance in the
The weapon
element.
of desolation.
Yeah.
Is that in this?
We
set?
have a representation of it.
Okay.
Here.
And you said this is a loyalist.
Yes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. So this is a character that we've seen before.
Yes.
Dr. LaRoe. Her inclusion in this in a very different look as a loyalist. Who are they loyal to?
Who could they be? It's a very interesting. I think it will be very spoilery to say anything about it.
Okay.
But there is a lot of opportunities that we got by having the connected narrative throughout Dragons Rising.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of back and forth, and we've already seen it with people like the ninjas going back to locations we've seen.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a more connected world in this case.
Very cool. So the elemental monsters or the elemental creatures here are super interesting. I love how this one uses the headpiece as the claws as well. Can you explain a little bit more about the process of developing a piece like that and having it be a dual purpose? Because I think that's the one time I can remember it being a headpiece and a claw piece.
I think it was a decision of we wanted to do something about the earth and how that could be like mutated in a way or changed.
Yeah.
As we said, like water, you can have the acid, for example. It's liquid, is things like this.
So water turns into acid.
Yeah,
and
this is their tar monster. So it's a part of that.
Interesting. So it's like a corruption.
And it's just a process of designing it, figuring out a silhouette that is interesting. Then what else can we do with the element?
Yeah.
It also allowed us. I don't remember if we're using it, but I think sometimes we use it as a weapon only. Sometimes you have it everywhere. So you can vary a little bit the silhouette of the bad guy with a single element, which is a very good, effective use of a frame there.
That makes sense. I guess the next question I have is about the dragon. So the wing technique on this dragon is super unique. It's not really like anything we've seen before. It's almost like the way that you would make it fly is very different to see. What made you decide on kind of crafting it this way that has this wing that can fold outwards, and were there any different iterations?
I think yes, we had a few things, and Esben, who did the set, he had quite a bit of trial and error to try to find a way where it's stable enough, it has the functionality of opening up, and it was mostly a quest of trying to get a very different silhouette to it. Because we try to do different things, and for something that's like foresty, we wanted to have the closed look where it looks more condensed.
Right. Kind of like a tree branch or something. That's
exactly. And then it makes sense that you can open it up, and then there's different considerations for it. It's definitely different than what we have done before.
Yeah, I love how this feels so much like nature. Like this even looks like rock, the way that the legs are done. So that is seriously so cool.
Yeah, we had some. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we had some concepts from the beginning of how do you get nature without it making it just green. Yeah, or even green and brown could get very monotonous. So even I think from some early concept sketches we started. I played I think with it a little bit, and Nikolai as well. Yeah, doing the transition from rock to wood and then to the branches.
That is very, very cool. I mean, I think this is definitely one of the most visually interesting dragons we've ever gotten from Ninjago. So I always love how continually you've come up with new ways to reinvent the dragons and just kind of come up with new ideas for them, which is just so interesting.
And I had this conversation with a colleague about, how challenging it is to reinvent yourself, because we know what we can do, and then you always fall into this unknown times where like, oh, I need to do something different, and can I even pull it off? Can I? But it creates a little bit of doubt, but it's always something that is worth looking into.
Absolutely. So these minifigs will be in the showroom, so I'll take a closer look at them there. I think we're about at the halfway point, so it probably makes sense to move on to the next one, although I have so many more questions about all of these, but we'll have to save that for next time. So thank you.
It's a pleasure. Sorry.
So that was our in-depth look at 4 of the brand new Dragons Rising sets coming out. Of course, it's Cole's Mission Mech, aka Cole's Golem form, Rayu the Ninja Dragon, as well as the Arc Dragon of Life, which I just did a full-on in-depth review of, and the polybag Cole's Car, which I guess isn't just called Car this time, this one's called Cole's Car. Now, I have a lot of thoughts about these sets and about the wave as a whole, to be honest, and I have so many thoughts that I actually split up this video into 2 different parts. This one I wanted to focus on my designer interviews and the unveilings, and for the next part of the video, which I'll be publishing at some point soon, either in the next few hours or tomorrow, depending on how late these are coming out, I will be sharing my overall thoughts on the wave as a whole, because boy do I have thoughts and opinions, and I certainly have a lot to say about this particular wave of Dragons Rising. I think that Legacy has been very, very strong, and especially seeing the sets we've seen so far, which by the time this video comes out, I'm sure Old Town's already out there, which looks phenomenal. You also got that incredible blacksmith shop, which I got my chance to get my hands on, as well as Lloyd's Titan Mech, which for its flaws, I still think is a really solid build. Everything Legacy, even the anniversary minifig display, amazing. And then we get to Dragons Rising, and honestly, I feel like some of these builds are a little bit weak. Like taking Rayu, for instance, I feel like it is so weird to reuse the element for Rayu that literally has his jaw molded in and then brick build a jaw underneath it. It just feels super wonky, and having that displayed next to any of the other Rayus will just make it feel very strange. And yes, I did ask the question about, well, did they consider using other dragon heads when they were making that? And they did, but they felt like it didn't have the Rayu look, which I guess I do understand, but honestly, I would have rather they just didn't have a jaw factored into the build, because it throws so much off about that set to me, even though the rest of the build I think actually does look really good. Minifigure wise though, I'm a big fan of these figures. I think the Draconis forms for the ninja are phenomenal. Especially Zane here, I feel like the light blue and the white color scheme is so crisp. The elemental monsters look amazing as well, and I even love Aaron's dark blue suit. I feel like that's a really cool look for him. So minifigure wise, I'm a fan of them. The mutation monster there with all the tentacles out of the back looks so cool to me. Definitely loving how that one came across, and so overall, I am a fan of a lot of the figures and designs here, and I feel like the concepts for this wave are very strong. Like finally getting Cole's Golem form as a build is something fans have wanted for a while, but the build itself feels very static, and it is a big miss to me that you can't even turn the head back and forth. He is permanently looking forwards. I guess you can have him look up and down, but not having that mounted on a ball joint is super strange. Overall, even for Rayu, the rest of the Rayu build I think is actually really solid. I feel like it is a very strong dragon build, but the way the jaw is built totally throws me off. I mean, this just looks so weird to me, and I can't unsee the fact that he has multiple jaws. I know it bothered my buddies who also saw this as well, like Bricks by Mine, but I'm really curious if folks in the comments have the same issues that I do, or maybe you feel like I'm overreacting and it's really not that big of a deal. I'm very curious what folks have to say about that, and if you agree or disagree about my opinions here, because I certainly was thrown off by it, but it could have totally been just me. Overall though, I have a lot of thoughts on the Dragons Rising wave, so stay tuned for that future video where I go over the entire images of the wave in full. Cannot wait to put that one out because I have so many thoughts on a lot of the other sets as well. But again, taking a closer look at the minifigures here, you cannot complain about these phenomenal figures. The new armor piece is super cool, looks a little bit large and bulky on minifigures without the dragon wings, but I think that the rest of the characters are strong. The Loyalists have a very cool color scheme as well, tying back to Imperium, because of course, as we now know, the Loyalist leader is Dr. LaRoe, and having every single elemental monster have a completely unique design is kind of reminiscent of stuff like the Forbidden Five, where we had the main villains, but then we also had these core unique characters for the villain faction. And of course, we have to talk about the Legacy Cole's Car polybag. This is maybe one of my favorite Ninjago polybags of all time. Not only is it referencing a classic Ninjago 2012 polybag, and you bet I went ahead and bought sealed copies of that polybag so I could do a one-by-one comparison review when it actually comes time in January, but it is very cool to not just have it be redone in a much more bulkier and built-up form, but it also includes the full version of Cole that you would want to get, with the armor pads, which polybags rarely ever provide. And Lee explicitly mentioned that while designing this, he made it a strong point to definitely include those armor pads in the polybag because he feels like he wanted kids who want the entire minifigure to have the chance to get that, and I think that is awesome. Of course, there is controversy online about their use of gold for the ZX Legacy suits. The way it was explained to us is that they wanted to incorporate gold to celebrate the anniversary of Ninjago, and they wanted to make it feel a bit more special, and I understand that. I definitely feel like it works better for some characters as opposed to others. Cole, I think, actually looks pretty good in this form. Maybe I'm gonna get cooked in the comments for this one, but I actually think the gold on Cole's Legacy suit looks nice. Jay's is a monstrosity. Some would say a Ninjago Legends monstrosity, and we'll be taking a closer look at that in my other video, and Lloyd with the gold I actually don't mind either, so it's really just Jay that kind of throws me off there. Otherwise, going back to the Dragons Rising sets though, these are super cool, and I definitely want to give a big thank you to the designers for taking the time to sit down with us. The designers in these videos, like Lee Chi Wing and Dimi, did not actually design most of these particular sets themselves. They were showcasing them on behalf of the Ninjago team, so they actually went ahead and were showcasing the work of their teammates and really trying to dive into that. So big shout out there, and I just want to end this video by taking a few closer looks at some of the minifigures and characters included in the set. Cole ZX Legacy in particular is super interesting because they actually brought back the original symbol for Cole on the back of the outfit there, which I think is super cool. And of course, he does have his standard face expression, even though for some of the other Legacy minifigures like Jay and Zane, both of them have brand new heads, which is pretty interesting, and I can't wait to get more into that. Overall, that about sums up our early look at some of the Dragons Rising sets plus a Legacy polybag. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of these sets? Honest opinions, please do let me know, and let me know if you think I'm being too harsh as well. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. Thanks, and bye for now.